Ja Morant, the point guard of the future back in 2022, 2023, the guy we all thought would be a perennial MVP candidate. Well, what happened to him? Well, the first bad things we were seeing about Ja Morant were actually not on the court. It was Ja Morant flashing guns on IG Live multiple times, leading him to a league suspension. And the suspension was no joke. It was 25 games for Ja Morant after leading the Grizzlies to back-to-back 2 seeds. Going into this next season, he wouldn't be able to play in the first 25 games. But what would he do in his first game back? Well, he would hit a game winner against the Pelicans in his first game back from suspension, proving that he is still that guy. But the rest of the season, Ja Morant would have an injury, so he would only play 9 games, but 25, 5, and 8 in those 9 games, he was playing like old Ja. And then next season, Ja Morant plays in 50 games, averages 23, 4, and 7 in only 30 minutes per game. And yes, that is a downgrade from what we used to see, but this last season of only 20 games, 19 points per game on 8 assists in 28 minutes, 41, 23 from the field. I'm going to tell you guys why those stats really don't matter at all. We have to remember that Desmond Bane was traded before the season started, and at the deadline, Jaren Jackson Jr. was also traded away from the Grizzlies. And here is Ja Morant's last game played on the Grizzlies on January 21st. Obviously, before the deadline, JJJ was playing in this game, but you can see the roster isn't what it used to be. The Memphis franchise was obviously tailoring towards tanking after trading Desmond Bane for all of those picks and then Jaren Jackson Jr. at the deadline. Why would Ja Morant play the rest of the season, hurt or not? It's pretty safe to say that those 20 games Ja played in the regular season last year were not anything close to the games he used to play with Memphis back when they were trying to compete for a championship. So that brings me back to this point of the last time we can really look at his stats is 2024-25 when he played in 50 games and averaged 23 points per game on 4.1 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 45-30 shooting. And going to the end of the 2024-25 season when Ja Morant was playing and the Grizzlies were trying to make the playoffs, he was playing really good, 26, 36, 30, 28, 36 points in these games. He was clearly still playing at that elite level that we know he can. And in the first round against the 1 seed and eventual champions in game 3, he would have 15 points and 5 assists in 16 minutes before he would get injured, and he would come out after the game and have this infamous quote saying, "I had them figured out," and he thinks that if he didn't get hurt, they would have tied the series 2-2. I know that's all talk, but still, he kind of showed it in that first 16 minutes of that game. And so now that was the last time we really saw Ja Morant trying to compete for anything, but now he's going to the Blazers, who just made the playoffs after a crazy injury-riddled season with no Damian Lillard as well, so he's going to be in a situation again where the team is trying to win. And the argument that Ja Morant does not equal winning is absolute garbage. He led the Grizzlies to back-to-back 2 seeds when he was playing with the team that was trying to win, and the franchise was tailored towards trying to win a championship. They were back-to-back 2 seeds and nearly a 1 seed one year. So what can we expect from Ja Morant and the Portland Trail Blazers in this 2026-27 season? Can they be good? Will Ja be good? What will the team look like? The dynamic? Well, let's dive into it. First, let's look at the Blazers roster and kind of see how it stacks up to those old Grizzlies rosters when they were the 2 seed. So starting off, you have Denny Advia, who is an all-star, Donovan Clingan, who led the regular season in rebounds, Tumani Kamara, an all-defensive member, Drew Holiday, an also all-defensive member, Shaedon Sharpe, who's a 21 points per game scorer, and Robert Williams, one of the best backup bigs in the entire league and would be starting on most teams. Not to mention the second greatest shooter of all time, Damian Lillard, coming back next season as well. Now let's look at the Grizzlies lineup in 2021-2022 when they were the 2 seed for the first time. They had Desmond Bane, JJJ, Steven Adams, DeAnthony Melton, Tyus Jones, Brandon Clark, rest in peace, and Kyle Anderson on the team. I'm already saying it's pretty obvious that the Blazers team that Ja Morant is joining is way deeper and even better at the top with the talent than any other team Ja has played for. And I don't even think that that's crazy to say, because I would take Denny over Jaren Jackson Jr., I would take Damian Lillard over Desmond Bane, and I would take Donovan Clingan over Steven Adams. And even if you don't agree with that, you're not taking Kyle Anderson over Tumani Kamara, and you're not taking Tyus Jones over Scoot or Shaedon Sharpe or Drew Holiday. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Ja Morant is joining the most talented and deepest team he's ever played for, and this guy has been the best player on back-to-back 2 seeds. Now let's talk about Ja Morant's actual play. A lot of people thought that he actually is getting worse as a player and he's not that good anymore, but I completely disagree. I think it's been the situation and also the injuries. Ja Morant is only 26 years old. He is still super young and nowhere near the point where age is going to hinder his level of play. Ja Morant hasn't played a single game since January 21st, like we talked about. He was out with a left elbow UCL sprain for the rest of the season, and also because the Grizzlies were tanking. If Ja Morant is taking his health seriously and he is in the gym working out and getting his body right, I think it's going to be an amazing start to the season for him, and he is going to have the first healthy season of his career. So let's just assume that. Let's assume that he works on his body over the summer and he comes into the season looking great and very healthy and not prone to any major injuries. Well, playing next to Damian Lillard and Deni Avdija on the court is going to help Ja Morant out so much, and I could definitely see him averaging around 10 assists per game with these two on the court with him. Damian Lillard is one of the most double-teamed players I've ever seen in my entire life. When he is on the court and he is healthy, they are double-teaming this man at half court, but with Deni and Ja on the court, there's just no way you're going to be able to get away with that. Deni is one of the best drivers and ISO scorers in the league right now. We saw him drop 41 points in the play-in game against the Suns to single-handedly carry the Blazers to a playoff spot. Ja, Dame, and Deni on the court at the same time is going to be extremely lethal, because if you hedge or do anything on one of the players, all three are good enough playmakers to find an open man for an easy layup or three-pointer. There's also so many different looks the Blazers can throw out on the court with Ja. They could throw Drew out with Ja, Shaden and Ja, the two high-flying dunkers. They could throw him out there with a double big lineup of Robert Williams and Donovan Clingan, and it could be Lob City 2.0 in the paint. Mike Nori really has so many cards at his disposal with the guard depth, Deni and Dame off ball, and then obviously the catalyst Ja Morant, one of the better playmakers in the league and also one of the better scorers in the league. But everyone's also wondering about the defense. Ja Morant's never been known to be a good defender. He has some highlight plays with some crazy blocks and steals, but still, pound for pound, he is not a great defender. So how will that work on this team? Well, I actually think that the defensive situation in Portland this season will be better than any situation he's ever had in Memphis. And I know that's crazy to say because they had Jaren Jackson Jr., who was a defensive player of the year, but I feel like the Blazers have the depth and key pieces to make up for that and then some. And starting with Toumani Camara, one of the best on-ball defenders in the entire NBA and causes the most turnovers on defense than any other player in the league. And then we have Donovan Clingan, the best offensive rebounder in the entire NBA and definitely a top 3 rebounder in the NBA. He is also an elite rim protector at the rim, blocking a lot of shots and also almost leading the entire league in shots contested. So starting off, we have two players that could easily make an all-NBA defensive team next season. Now we have Robert Williams, again, one of the most athletic bigs in the league. His poster dunks are absolutely insane, and he is also a beast in the paint, blocking so many different shots. And also Drew Holiday, known as one of the best guard defenders in the entire league. And if you haven't been tapped into the Blazers that much, I wouldn't expect you to know this, but Scoot Henderson has been getting mentored under Drew Holiday for the last season, and he has proven to everybody that he can be an elite defender at times. He is no longer a liability on defense. So Ja Morant is surrounded by a lot of elite defenders, which will obviously help out the team's defense. It doesn't make Ja Morant a better defender, so to speak, but it will help him out, and he won't have to do that much on defense, and he can also learn under these players as well. So now I'm going to make my official stat line predictions for Ja Morant next season: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, percentages, everything. Let's get into it. First off, I think Ja Morant will average 23.7 points per game. I don't think he's going to get back to that 27 points per game that he did in his most improved season because he is playing with such better talent like Dame and Deni. I think he will average around 3.8 rebounds per game, obviously playing with Toumani, Deni, Clingan, Robert Williams. There's a bunch of other rebounders on the court. That's not going to be his main role, but he will still grab some boards. I think Ja Morant will average around 8.2 assists per game next season, having so many options to pass to: Toumani on the wing, Deni, Dame for catch and shoot threes, lobs to Clingan, lobs to Robert Williams. There's so many options for him to pass to, and I feel like he will take advantage of all of them. I think he will average 1.0 steals per game next season. Not much to talk about this, but Ja usually does grab around a steal per game. And then I think he will average 0.2 blocks per game next season. Now for the turnovers, I think Ja Morant averages around 3 turnovers per game. Obviously with high assist numbers usually come with high turnover numbers, but I don't think it'll be anything crazy over 3 because he will have a lot of other options that can handle the ball. Now I feel like he'll average around 48% from the field next season, which is pretty high for Ja Morant, but I don't think he's going to be taking that many threes, and he also gets into the paint a lot and is very efficient in there. So I feel like his shot diet is going to be a lot better now with other options on the team that can score. I don't think he's going to be having to put up heavily contested shots anymore. And then I think he'll average around 32 to 33% from three. Nothing crazy. I don't think he's going to be an elite three-point shooter or anything like that, but I feel like his three-point shots will be way more open with Denny and Dame getting double teams and drawing gravity. If you made it all the way to the end, comment jaw bubblegum. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I love making this NBA content for you guys. I'm on the grind. Let's hit 10K subscribers, guys. We're so close. If you're subscribed, get your grandma's goldfish to subscribe. But I love you all. See you in the next video soon. Peace.